Good day, everybody. It's Kelvin from ELAGRICO. I'm an agribusiness consultant, and today's topic is going to be centered or focused on sustainable modern day farming or agriculture and its profitability. Now, you probably might be wondering, what is sustainable agriculture? Well, just to keep it short and simple, it's an integrated system of plant and animal production practices over a long period of time. And the aim is to provide food for humans in a society, make use of non-renewable resources, conserve our land and water by adding more nutritional resources, as well as improving the quality of life and letting human beings earn an income. And lastly, it will sustain agricultural economic activities. The purpose of sustainability is to make sure we have an income and profit from agriculture. Secondly, we look at the environment and how we can conserve our resources and avoid loss or wastage of resources. And then thirdly, we look at the feature of how farmers and the society integrate into this type of farming. I'm just going to dive into a few top best practices of sustainable agriculture. The first one is mulching. Now, what is mulching? It's a process of covering the soil to avoid soil erosion and maintain soil temperature and preserve its moisture. Now, having said that, there's lots of material you can use to mulch, ranging from grass from the veld, crop residues, which can be your maize, dry corns, and plant residue from the maize crops. The benefits are that it helps suppress the weeds on the soil or in the farm, and it reduces the labor to remove the weeds, which means if you're a farmer and you employ mulching as a way of practicing sustainable agriculture, your cost of production will drastically reduce, as you don't need to employ more people to pull out the weeds, and you'd also use less herbicides if you're doing commercial farming as well. And another benefit is that it increases soil organic activities and catalyzes the nutrients in the soil. Again, remember we spoke about us preserving the soil moisture. What does this mean? If you are doing crop farming and you are using various irrigation methods like your overhead sprinkler irrigation or your center pivot irrigation, you are going to reduce the amount of hours you irrigate in a week, in a month, or in every production cycle, because half of the time the mulching will keep the soil moisture preserved in the soil. Okay. Another good practice of sustainable agriculture is intercropping. This means you're growing 2 or more crop varieties in one field. Now, there's quite a number of benefits that a farmer, whether small scale or commercial scale, can benefit from intercropping. For example, we've got leguminous plants which are really beneficial to the soil, as they release nitrogen to the soil. Now remember, nitrogen is one of the key major nutrients that are required for vegetative growth and good plant physiology. So for example, if you have got these leguminous crops like your beans, your peas, they release nitrogen into the soil, and you can grow them interchangeably or in rows with different kind of crops which actually require use of nitrogen. There's always other options like nitrogenous fixing trees, which can be grown in rows of maize fields or wheat fields to actually preserve the moisture, hoil the soil structure, and promotes the reduction of field pests as well. Now, with regards to reduction of field pests, for those who are into vegetable farming A perfect example would be intercropping chives and lettuce. So doing is the level of pests in your field because of the chive garlic odor that's released in the field. It deters pests and insects within the field. Now, moving forward, my fourth top best practice of sustainable agriculture is actually managing the whole system and landscapes. All right. Remember, agriculture is done in our environment where we need the land and the water to function and to operate. And it's not all the time the environment is ideal for us to have an appropriate, suitable soil for farming or suitable water quality to irrigate our crops and feed the animals. A perfect example of how you can manage your systems and landscape is the growing of eucalyptus trees in swampy areas. The eucalyptus tree is a natural remedy to resuscitate swamps, as it has the ability to absorb large water bodies over a period of 5 to 7 years. So what do I mean? Given a period of 5 to 7 years, you can literally turn a swamp area into firm soil. And the other benefit out of that 5 to 7 years is that you will also benefit from having timber from the eucalyptus tree. So that's an agroforestry feature that can be employed as a way of sustainability in agriculture. And what does it mean at the end of the day? It means the eucalyptus tree has helped us to rejuvenate the soil structure and provide timber. Right. Another way of sustainability is actually mixed farming, where you integrate crop farming or crop production with animal breeding. You create an ecosystem that benefits both the crops and both the animals. For example, mixed farming, where you produce pigs and soybeans, and fish farming at the same time. This is more on a commercial level for commercial farmers who want to go into sustainable farming, where the piggery excreta is flown into the fish farming ponds. And what happens is that with the pig excrete, it's going to allow or necessitate the formation of algae in the fish farming ponds, which will provide fish for the food for the fish. So this is very important because now you're reducing the cost of feed, and at the same time, the same pig excreta can be used in the farms to grow your oil seeds. The example that I gave, which is soybeans. And the soybeans is a very vital crop which is required for pig farming. So you're creating a cycle where there is no loss and you're making or reusing all the resources that are within the same farming ecosystem. So it becomes beneficial to the farm itself, it becomes beneficial to both the plants and the animals. Okay, I just want